Salute and welcome to Tech City Insights. We have a very special guest today, Brian Workinger. He's the Senior Vice President of Revenue Intelligence Unit at Craneware, an American working for a Scottish company with a large presence in the American market. Craneware software is in 40% of hospitals in the States?
Roundabout, yep.
That's incredible. That's an incredible achievement.
It's great.
Yeah,
continuing to grow, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, with that said, on to you, Brian. Can you give us audience a little introduction into who you are and your career in tech so far?
Yeah, I mean, how you started off, Arthur, is one of the unique things is, how did I end up where I'm at today? It's I came from, I guess, a non-tech arena, and now I'm overseeing and I have the opportunity to partner with a number of very bright and talented, I guess, tech individuals or engineers and so forth at the Craneware Group. But I mean, how I've kind of moved here is from a standpoint of, I guess, working for an American company originally, one of the first positions or jobs that I had, and then moving over to the Craneware Group now that having been here for I'm in my 15th year at the Craneware Group. And even when I came to the Craneware Group, I was working for a tech company. However, I wasn't accountable for the tech side. I was more on the customer-facing side and working with the hospitals that we work with across the country. And then it has evolved over the years in terms of my responsibilities and what I'm accountable for. I think almost like halfway through my tenure at the Craneware Group, I moved into having accountability for engineers in the tech side, and that's when it started to really begin my exposure, I guess, across the ocean from the United States to over here and working with individuals in the UK and within Edinburgh from that standpoint.
How did you find that transition?
So it was very interesting, and I think when I say interesting, meaning initially it was a shock for me because it was an area that I didn't understand, and I think that was a good thing for everyone because I had everyone in Edinburgh in UK wanting to learn and suck information from me from a standpoint of what is going, like US healthcare and what is going on with it and how do you solve it and providing that. But at the same point in time, I needed to connect with new individuals, a new environment from a standpoint of the tech side and understanding how those individuals think and work and how you communicate with them was a big transition. And that's, I think, one of the reasons it helped me so much is that I was so open to listening to the tech side and from the standpoint of how they think and how they operate, because there's one thing that I've learned: you don't want to block a tech individual because they can provide so much value to the organization, because that's especially from a software standpoint.
Having spent significant time in both Edinburgh and the US, what is one lost in translation moment you've experienced between the cultures to help tech professionals collaborating across the channel?
I don't know that I wouldn't say there's much that's actually lost. I think it's more about understanding the people that you're working with more so than a different culture. Because it's just like anything, whether you're in the United States only and working or only working here. In the United States, you still have to understand the people that you're partnering with and working with in order to go where you want to go. It just working at the Craneware Group and being a lot of our business in the US and then a lot of my team over here in Edinburgh, and from the standpoint of engineers as well. It is very diverse here, and you require a very open mind and understanding how each individual, and it's not just UK versus United States, it is UK, then each individual. I think one of the things that is very popular, or I guess common at the Craneware Group, is the diversity that we have, and it's so many different cultures that are within the team, and you have to learn how to work and with each one, and also understanding a little bit about those individuals helps, and that's what's helped me continue on my path and continued success, and also driving Craneware Group's success as well.
So it depends more on the individuals than the cultures per se.
I think the individual and the cultures are together. I mean, each individual, you bring a different culture, right? We've talked about this before. I mean, like, you talk about where you're from and whatnot, and then it's just United States is obviously much bigger than where you're from that standpoint, from a geography standpoint. But at the end of the day, it's about getting to know each other and how you work together, what our strengths and weaknesses are, and so forth, to get the best out of each other.
Getting the job done.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about Craneware Group. It was founded in Edinburgh in 1999, essentially to solve American healthcare problems. They now serve 40% of US hospitals, which is an astonishing achievement. And there are other examples of Edinburgh founded companies like Skyscanner, FanDuel, and others. So my question is, what do you think makes Edinburgh such an attractive place to build and scale a company?
I think one of the big things, I think a lot of people want to come live here. And I think we talked about diversity in the last question from that standpoint. It's amazing how many people that work here at the Craneware Group in the city here, but that aren't originally from here. It's a great example, and then it's a great example of it, and which brings in all the diversity and the different thoughts and approaches to certain items, how one approaches it from their country and how it works there, and how they work from even Scotland from that standpoint. It's how do you bring all those individuals together and grow and move forward in the same direction. And we've been hugely successful, as you were saying. I mean, in over 40% of the market right now in the US in the healthcare industry, and continuing to grow. And I think also I'm going to add in, I think it helps with the culture that the company has built with our founders and so forth, having been here. And I think the other thing is what's absolutely fascinating, because we bring in so many graduates into Craneware now. It's amazing to me when you compare Scotland to the United States. There's a big difference in terms of size, big difference. Yet the amount of quality and the education and the unis that put out,
absolutely.
Right, the tech amount. I mean, we get a plethora of applications from graduates that want to come to the Craneware Group, and I think it helps us grow, because you grow our talent, and from the junior side, we now have all these partnerships with different universities and whatnot here as well. That helps.
If you could, what is one thing about the UK business culture that you would bring to the US, and vice versa?
I would take the relaxation culture.
You're talking about annual leave?
Yes, annual leave.
Okay.
But also, I think the way, I think everybody makes fun of me when I come over, because I still go into the office at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm like one of the first ones in. But I love that people come in with the mindset, and there's nothing wrong with it. They come in, they get into the office, they do their thing. But it's just much more relaxed. They get their work done, and then they go on. And I think I love that about it. And that's not what, Craneware, but the culture here, and it's people are driven, and they want to learn. One thing that's so nice about the Craneware Group, and you referenced the companies earlier in the conversation that have also had successful internationally as well, like Skyscanner and FanDuel.
Skyscanner,
yes. It's an opportunity to learn a different industry when you are here or not in the United States. The United States healthcare is so different than everywhere else, and it's so many different challenges. So to wrap your hands around, it's a difficult problem to solve. And I think engineers, once they come in the tech side, they find it very interesting to put their finger on it. Try to solve.
I'm going to talk about AI, because I think that's what everyone wants to hear about. So I know that Craneware recently launched Trisus Assist, which is an AI agent specific to American healthcare. Could you tell us more about how it's benefiting your customers, and also from the operations perspective? What's the impact on your staff and engineers? Is it making them do more with less, or are they doing more creative work?
Yeah, so multiple questions in there. So to try to do it quickly, we did launch our first sort of AI integrated component within our platform, our Trisus platform called Trisus Assist. And what it does is it enables you to, with all the code changes and all the regulations and so forth that happen in US healthcare, because it's constantly changing. Every 7 days you could have something change. We've always had a reference sort of module within our platform. And you go in and you search and you find like a code or something about that code and read up on it. This now enables you to basically search that whole database, but also ask it specific questions in terms of, how would I code for this colonoscopy procedure? and then it comes back and it tells you and pulls all that content for you right into one spot. And it's so much different than doing that in Google or outside of the framework of the Trisus platform, because it is ring fenced in terms of it's only going directly to the actual manuals.
Right, so it's less likely to hallucinate.
And that's like one of the biggest things, taking it to the hallucination standpoint, going beyond that piece, is we use it all the time in everyday development. We've had zero reduction in any types of employee. It makes you more efficient, and it helps you get to that end result faster. It doesn't eliminate jobs. So AI is not the end-all be-all to any tech, and from that standpoint, because you can't just say, go write this application. It's not going to do it. Or it's not, I mean, it's going to get you started, but you still have to have someone. Human in the loop is the biggest phrase that we always use, is human in the loop. You have to have that, still that subject matter expert or that tech individual sitting there in order to take it forward from the standpoint of what comes out from an AI standpoint. And AI is getting thrown around so heavily.
Yeah,
We don't even, like, you don't even really look for an AI engineer. You're really looking for someone that's driven to understand that technology and that prompt engineering and the large language models. It's not specific AI.
Just in terms of hiring, is there a particular professional that you're targeting, a particular skill set? Like, how do you hire for AI specific roles?
So, I mean, we've kind of made the decision as an organization. We're not really looking for AI experience, because it's about someone wanting to come in and learn and use that technology, like them wanting to develop in that technology, use prompt engineering, use the co-pilots or whatever to help them with even writing existing code, because you still need the skill set that understands, say, Java or C# or Elixir or whatever coding whatever tech stack you're writing in, not coding stack, tech stack you're writing in. You still have to have employees that have that foundation, and you supplement it with AI that you can ask it questions to help you get going and moving forward faster. So, because at the end of the day, we need the skill set that a technical person has, and you can support it with the AI piece.
And do you have a particular team that's focused on AI? Do they propagate that knowledge across the company?
Everyone has access, from our tech standpoint, everyone has access to the ability to use the AI tools or applications. It's not one set team. Everyone needs to understand it and incorporate it in any way they can into their day-to-day to help them move forward. And I mean, I use it every day because it makes me go faster. I have no fear of it eliminating my position or whatnot. It's about how can I operate more efficiently, get answers faster, move quicker, because that ultimately will help the company grow from that standpoint. So we're getting to a solution faster.
And are they the equivalent of subject matter experts in AI at Craneware? Because that's something that I'm hearing, is that it's hard to get that balance right because it's such a new technology. How do you have subject matter experts in a technology that's changing so fast?
So it's hard. So it's all about staying educated and staying on top of it. So we have a group of individuals that dove right in to start to build out the agentic framework. But they were driven and they wanted to learn it, and they went in and we supported them with the necessary information. We also have this partnership with Microsoft. They partner with us as well to get going and getting off the ground to help, because we did different workshops with them and so forth to help get us up to speed, some of our team members, and then we take that forward as well. So the resources are out there to learn, and that's where you want individuals on your team that want to continue to upskill and learn and not just stay status quo, and that's one thing that we have. And if you have those individuals that are driven and want to go to the next thing, learn the next thing, it benefits everyone. It pushes everyone along.
All right, thanks for that, Brian. We're going to move on to the last segment of the show. This is the closing statement. This is where you talk about anything you like, anything that's close to your heart.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm going to stick with a similar topic that we've been on, and it also ties to me being a dad and having kids and living in the United States. I mean, the healthcare in the United States, it is outstanding from the standpoint of you can get high quality healthcare, but it's also a burden for so many people, and that's what's such a beautiful thing working for the Craneware Group. and having the ability to work over here with all the different cultures that I've been exposed to and had the opportunity to work with, and the many people that I get to meet over here. But with what the Craneware Group is doing from that standpoint, trying to make and transform the business of healthcare from that standpoint, to get the organizations, the hospitals and the providers, the revenue that they need to have in the door to continue to provide that high quality care that I know that I have kids that are growing up and they're going to be here after I'm gone, and it's just really, really important. We're solving like a big problem that's in the US. Yeah. So, and that's where it comes from. What we're doing at the Craneware Group is how do you make sure they're getting the dollars that they deserve? Then that's going to ultimately help them out and continue to reinvest and provide the outstanding care that you can get. It's amazing how many organizations, the large organizations, actually have contracts with international, that they come all the way from over here just to go to the US for healthcare. It's just, and we're in that industry at the Craneware Group, and I continue to want to make as much as I can tomorrow a better day for at least my family and others in the US.
And to that end, I guess the question is, how can the good people of Edinburgh help the company? Are you hiring at the moment?
We're always hiring right now. We are continuing to grow, and we have, like I said kind of earlier on in the conversation, continuing to bring in additional graduates. We're bringing in additional engineers and so forth, wanting to continue to expand our footprint here in Edinburgh. I mean, even primarily hiring over here from a tech standpoint, because we've established such a good foundation right here.